here's Brody Brazil.
It actually kind of scares me to think about this, but I've been broadcasting now for more than 2 decades. I started right out of high school, got into this stuff really early, and now here I am right around the corner from 40 years old. I've been doing it basically the entire time. Thousands of shows. I don't even want to start doing the math on how many hours I've invested into this craft and into this career, but yeah, I've spent a lot of time, I've put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into all of this. I've been doing it a long time. That doesn't mean I'm good at it. In fact, some of you might think I'm bad at it, or somewhere in between, maybe mediocre. But the one thing that I hope always comes across is that I really care about this craft of presenting. As a host, to deliver you something on a television screen, on a laptop screen, or even now on your mobile phone screen. However the platform is, that I care about translating information to you. I do put a lot of thought and effort into basically everything I say or I do in a television program. And typically a 30-minute show, to give you the background, a 30-minute show, I will normally spend at least an hour in terms of preparation, getting it right, working diligently to figure out what angles I want to approach, how things should be said, in what order. I work very closely with our producers in that. I just put a lot of effort into ultimately bringing it to you. But at the same time, preparation is not everything. It's kind of like an athlete in sports. There's also the execution factor in the moment. You have to perform when the cameras and the lights all go on. But again, hopefully through all of that, the one thing you can see is the effort. At least the effort is always there. As much as I take a lot of pride in this job, I really do, I want you to know that I never take it for granted, and I have never believed in mailing in a show or even a segment. I think that becomes a possibility for a lot of broadcasters over the years, but I've never, ever taken that approach. My thoughts on television specifically have always been that it's meant as a platform to educate, to entertain, to inform, and yes, to even inspire. And I draw a lot from that Edward R. Murrow quote, the famous broadcaster from way back in the day. In 1958, he said this to a bunch of his peers, quote, "This instrument," he's talking about television, "this instrument can teach, it can illuminate, and yes, it can even inspire. But it can only do so to the extent that humans are determined to use it to those ends. Otherwise, it's nothing but wires and lights in a box." Now, with all that established, I'm here to tell you that I think the British are better broadcasters than us Americans. Wait, what? That's kind of a weird twist here. Overall, I can't put other countries into this conversation. The big barrier here is language. I don't speak Japanese. I don't speak German. I don't speak French. I do speak a little bit of Spanish, but not enough to give you the full evaluation. By countries across the world, all I know is this: the British do television better than us. Now, what do I mean by better? A couple things here. More thoughtful, better paced, and not as forceful. I know I'm making broad statements here. Like, does America have some broadcasters that are absolutely talented? Of course. We may have some of the best. And do the British have some that are considered rubbish? Of course. And I'm not just favoring the British here because of their accents, I promise. I just feel like when they make television, they are thoughtful about it. The questions, the comments, they're more simple, they're more clear, they're more direct. The British seem to be better paced. I never get a sense that they are overall rushed through a segment. I feel like they time it out well, they let segments breathe, they let conversations happen. And last but not least, in terms of not being forceful, there just doesn't seem to be a lot of yelling on British broadcasting. There's not outrageousness. There's not that over-the-top presentation, which, for whatever reason here in America, seems to resonate and seems to be popular. So I'll just say it like this. When I'm looking to expand my portfolio, expand my skill set, when I'm looking for new tricks to pick up, I watch how the British do broadcasting. They could very well overall be better than us.